Now that we have the guy who shot Charlie Kirk,
office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits.
He's arrested, probably gonna face the death penalty, and if not, he's going to jail for a long time. I would favor him getting the death penalty.
Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah.
My question is now what? And the reason I'm saying that is not because I hate Charlie Kirk, not because I am happy that he's dead, not because, oh, the leftists are having fun. It's a genuine question because too many times I've seen an act of violence go viral and everybody has a reaction. People spout conspiracy theories, people spout hot takes, people spout how the individuals who lost their life, whether it be somebody like Charlie Kirk or children in a school shooting, somehow deserved it for insert reason here. My issue with that is that once we're done with all of that, everything seemingly goes back to normal. Everything seemingly operates as if nothing ever occurred. A man no longer is around his family because he's got a bullet in his neck and he's dead. Now what? You got the guy. People spent their time trying to spout a bunch of narratives about who did it or how the bullet ricocheted, and they had fun with their conspiracy theories. Now what? You had people very upset that Charlie Kirk is no longer here. You got people losing their jobs because they're so fixated on going viral on social media, showing how much of a disdain they had for Charlie Kirk.
So, prayers and thoughts for Charlie. No, I have no prayers and thoughts for him left from all my prayers and thoughts for these innocent children who did nothing wrong. We're not sending out divisive, hateful messages. We're not saying that empathy is a problem with America. I refer to him as the anti-empathy guy. I won't type his name, not in capital letters anyway, definitely. Yeah. I just want to make sure that y'all had heard about the school shooting, because to me that is something that is more concerning than a douchebag who brings karma down on himself. I mean, ironically, the moment he's getting shot, what is he doing? When he's asked about mass shootings, comparison to gang violence in a dismissive way, tell me that wasn't karma doing her finest work. Yeah, I'll praise the shooter. He did a good job. He had a good aim.
That's the second one.
That's
the second school shooter like a month.
Yeah.
Now what? You have people who are spouting very nice platitudes about Charlie Kirk. Martin Luther King's family put out this great thing about Charlie Kirk, and you got black people mad about that, and you have these black people saying, oh, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Now what? Too many examples have come across everybody's timeline over the past number of years where something happens, goes viral, we all see it, and then back to business as usual. Let me give a few examples. The Uvalde school shooting, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin. Some of these are very significant to people's recent memory. Things have gone back to semi-normal since all of these events. Some of these have led with riots. Some of these have had a lot of people scrutinizing a group of people, even falsely accusing individuals of being in places where they weren't. Now what? I hate that I have to ask this, but because I've seen it too many times, I just want to ask. And I'm welcoming all of this discourse. I'm welcoming all of you in this moment who are giving answers of honesty, because I'm coming to you as sincere as I possibly could. Because if you're somebody who's been talking for all this time about political discourse and how conversation really doesn't get anywhere, and even a guy like Charlie Kirk, whether if you liked him or didn't like him, was trying to get people to talk, was trying to get people to communicate, was trying to get a dunk on them, was trying to debate people, was trying to engage with differing opinions, he got shot. And now people are going to go with the, well, talking doesn't get us anywhere. Now people are going to run with the, see, these radical leftists, these transgenders, this is all the problem. This is the only problem. And then they're going to see that and they're going to say, oh, well, what about this moment where a conservative did something? Or this moment where a conservative did something? Or this moment where a conservative did something? And then it'll just be back to business as usual. I said it the other day, that wheel just keeps on spinning. It never really stops. It'll slow down. There'll be a moment where you got to maybe check the tire, but it'll keep on spinning. And I think that's the disastrous part, where we are having these reactions. People are very upset. Some people are very performative right now because, for those of you who didn't know, there's a guy who wanted to have a White Lives Matter protest, I think in Florida.
Tomorrow on September 11th, 2025, I will be organizing a White Lives Matter protest in Miami, Florida at 1 p.m. I will post the exact location on all my social medias 1 hour prior to the event at noon. This will be a non-violent demonstration. Do not bring any guns, knives, or any weapons. The only thing you will need is yourself, your spirit, any posters that say White Lives Matter, and any pictures of faces of the white victims that have been brutally murdered or beat down by the system or by any of these savage animals. It is time to stand up for our people, and it is time to fight back. See you there, white man. Alright guys, the protest is starting in 30 minutes. Again, I posted the location on the last slide. If you guys cannot make it, I will be streaming it on candle.tv, so tune in if you want to see what's going on. Alright guys, come to the Torch of Friendship in Miami, Florida. If you're in the area, we are starting the White Lives Matter protest right now. Come and join.
And the outcome was fucking laughable. What now? Now what? I truly wish I could say, oh, I have an idea, but I don't. That's just my own confidence in me, that I don't have an idea. I don't know how to quell a lot of anger of millions of people in one country, because you got people who are angry. You got people who want to do something about it. And now some people will be very bombastic in thinking that what they do will be the smart thing, and it will not be. Case in point, whoever's sitting around threatening a bunch of HBCUs, somebody's going to look at that and say, well, see, these angry whites are attacking a bunch of black universities, and it ended up being a white guy who shot them. Blah, 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 blah. Now what? The wheel keeps on spinning. You're going to have people who will give you these nice speeches about how the time for talk is over. The time of being cordial around leftists is over.
And this video is for the fucking liberals. It's war, motherfuckers. We're coming for you. We're coming for you.
Which somebody could look at and interpret as a threat to somebody's life. The time for all of this is over. Oh, the time for all of this is over. Me. The time for talk is over. Me.
That's a pardon January 6er. That's his response to Charlie Kirk's murder. Above him, you would see a comment from Libs of TikTok. Theoretically, Chaya Rychek, I don't know of anyone else running her account, saying this is war. And then this is just one of several death threats that I received today in the wake of it. Because, you know, I'm on the other side, and some of these people just want an excuse to be violent. But also, can't necessarily blame these people for thinking that way when Donald Trump comes out and blames the radical left when they don't even have a suspect. They have no one in custody. They have no idea what the motive is. And they've already labeled it a political killing and are saying stuff like that. I don't think there's anything funny about Charlie Kirk being murdered. I don't think there's anything good about the fact that there are now 2 children who don't have a father, a woman who doesn't have her husband. This just makes everything worse. But I saw a comment that I can relate to. It said, I don't support what happened to Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk supported what happened to Charlie Kirk. And I think in a weird way that sums up how his kind of rhetoric definitely stoked the fires that could lead to something like this. And the selective outrage isn't lost on me either, because the race to the bottom, you all will always win. This is an email the American Firearms Association sent out. No one thought this would be in poor taste, to have a rifle above his head and celebrate him in this way. And while I do have sympathy for his family, those who don't grieve his loss, I could make an argument that they are in a weird way honoring him, because this is the man who said, I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term, and it does a lot of damage. So again, you could argue that by having empathy for him and his family, you're just doing this damage he's talking about. Also, not for nothing, the White House lowering the flag for Charlie Kirk, but they could not extend the same kind of warmth to Melissa Hortman, an actual elected official. Her husband, and her dog all murdered in a political killing. Clearly, no lowered flag for them. No outrage from Donald Trump for them. Even his final words had irony to them. Charlie Kirk shouldn't have died. Charlie Kirk didn't deserve to be murdered. And this honestly just makes everything worse. He is now a martyr. He has now galvanized a bunch of people to feel that they can act on the terrible things they've been dreaming about doing for a long time. Stuff like this is the thing that makes them feel like they have the green light. And that's bad for everyone.
Now what? The performances that I'm seeing people put on, while your engagement on social media has probably been beneficial to you, I feel as though if you were in the camp of caring about Charlie Kirk, you would actually try to do something past just giving a nice little soliloquy. But because I don't have too much of that confidence in people to do that, unfortunately, I feel like the wheel's just gonna keep on spinning until whoever's manning it at the current moment dies, and then someone comes in and just keeps on spinning the wheel. And I gotta say this again, I'm hoping y'all understand I'm not doing this to antagonize nobody. I'm not doing this to try to kick somebody while they down or while they grieving. I'm asking because too many examples exist where you see a moment in time and people start thinking, oh my God, this is the significant change. And nothing happens. Luigi shot a dude who was manning insurance, or the CEO of an insurance company. Nothing has changed in the realm of insurance. So can somebody give me something? I wish I could live in a world where if a tragedy like this occurs and it garners all this attention, whether if it's one person, a bunch of kids, a neighborhood, a store full of people, I wish I could live in a world where people who are in suits see that and try to fix it, try to do something in the realm of we are not going to see this again or as much. But I don't live in that world, because if we play the game of gun control and they somehow restrict a bunch of guns, then you're going to have people bringing up the whole knife thing. And what I've been mentioning the entire time of what criminal respects the law, it will continue to be this weird cycle where everybody's just going to have a hot take. Everyone's going to start spewing out shit. And I fear we're not going to get anywhere.